A group of Western tourists are being banned from leaving the country of Malaysia after stripping naked at one of their sacred mountain sites a week before the area experienced a deadly earthquake. The earthquake, measuring 5.9 on the Richter scale, struck Sabah's west coast on Friday, causing landslides on Mount Kinabalu, where at least 13 climbers have so far been confirmed dead. Now, inhabitants of the area believe this mountain to be sacred, and they think that the tourist disrespect of the site caused the mountain spirits to get very angry.
You know, they actually literally said they disrespected the mountain.
The mountain spirits, yeah.
The weird thing from my perspective, to disrespect an inanimate object.
Right.
Like, how dare you disrespect that camera or that table? But everybody's got different beliefs. You know, we believe, I don't, but a lot of people in this society believe that a dude walked on water 2,000 years ago and was born of a virgin.
Right, but at the same time, if I read the same exact story and said they stripped naked at, you know, one of the most holiest like churches or a
St. Patrick's Cathedral,
wouldn't you be
in New York,
bit more appalled than if it was? I mean, mountain sounds.
Me, no, I would be like, have at it, Hoss. But yes, in New York, they would certainly arrest you if you strip naked in St. Patrick's Cathedral. And my guess is that there's a lot of Muslim countries who would in fact arrest you if you stripped at a mosque and disrespected the mosque. Trust me on that.
So the Deputy Chief Minister of Sabah has responded to this incident, saying, when the earthquake happened, it's like a confirmation of our beliefs. There's almost certainly a connection. We have to take this as a reminder that local beliefs and customs are not to be disrespected. And the area's police have identified the 5 tourists and said that they would be barred from leaving the country at all entry and exit points until they face action according to the native laws.
There's 2 Canadians, by the way, at the consulate who are not being let out of the country. And they're seeking some protection, obviously, from their own consulate. That's crazy. They won't let them out of the country.
They're going to make them go under the action of their laws.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that they got to spend a significant amount of time in jail for disrespecting a mountain. Although the last guy to disrespect the mountain was Oberyn, and that worked out poorly for him, maybe even worse than these guys. But you're right, Hannah. We could imagine it if they did it in a Muslim country in a mosque. We could imagine it if some foreigners came into our churches in America, in Texas, and started taking their clothes off. Yeah, we wouldn't just let them go.
That seems less likely, though. I think there's something about Westerners going to different countries and feeling the need to take their clothes off. Like, there's something about, like, we take a picture and, like, wow, how can we make this picture better? Like, the scenery, the landscape. Oh, I know, I'll show my junk. You know what I mean? There's something about that.
Well, it depends on the person, but they have a point. That could make the picture better. Okay. But I think in this case, I certainly don't think they were trying to do. It sounds absurd every time I say it. I don't think they were really trying to disrespect the mountain.
I don't think so either.
Or the spirits, right? I think they thought, cool, we're on top of a mountain. Let's take our clothes off. It'll feel exhilarating, you know. Like, it was a celebration in some ways.
You take your clothes off and you like have the backless picture and it looks good. I understand the concept
of it. Yeah, me too. I mean, when I take the backless picture on a vacation and you see all my back hair, whoa, that really adds to the scenery.
Profile picture, immediately.
Oh, well, I got to Instagram that.
So you might be wondering how they're going to make up for this. Well, the local Kadazan Dusan tribal group, consider the mountain a resting place for departed spirits, have planned a ceremony to appease the spirits of Mount Kinabalu, who were deeply offended by this insolence.
Again, how do they know? Now, look, in this case, the timing is bad. Obviously, you know, the landslide happens, 13 people die on the mountain, and the guys got naked a week before, so they think, oh, of course it must have caused that. And they're like, oh, you crazy Westerners with your belief about guys talking to burning bushes and stuff. But the mountain just had a landslide. Obviously, we're more right. In Iceland, they believe in the gnomes that cause ice to fall, and that they live in the ice, etc. Right? And most of them don't believe anymore because they're Europeans, right? They don't believe any of the religions. But some still do, and they say, well, it's not any more absurd than your religions, and the ice does fall, right? Whereas nobody really gets born from a virgin. And that stuff at best happened 2,000 years ago and nothing's happened since.
Yeah.
So who's the crazy ones?
No, that makes sense. I mean, the only thing is that it happened like a week after, maybe.
Why not a day after? Why not an hour after?
It took them a while to get riled up. It's like, yeah, that thing that happened last week really pissed me off. You know what? I'm going to get mad now.
Yeah, the mountain was simmering that whole time, like, that showed me their junk. So mad. Did you see that guy's back hair? And the locals literally said the mountain spirits were mad. Okay. But like I ask all religious people, I would ask these folks as well, how do you know? I mean, I know that that action happened. Yes, a week later, as Hannah points out. Why not an hour later? Or at the time.
Or while it was happening,
yeah. Why punish someone else? Why not have the landslide happen while the naked people are on there and they would die? That would seem far more logical. But beyond that, when was the last time you talked to the mountain? How do you know what the mountain wants? How do you know that it is bothered by our insolence? And it comes back to the same thing. People always speak for the mountain, for Muhammad, for Jesus, when they've never actually spoken to them.
Yeah. At the same time, like if they know it's a sacred site, like we were talking about, like you wouldn't get naked at a temple. You know what I mean? You would just try to be respectful. If you're in somebody else's country, on somebody else's land, you don't want to totally disrespect them.
Yeah, don't wiggle them.
Even if you think what they think is a little loony, you still don't want to disrespect them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Don't wiggle them like, oh yeah, Mr. Mountain. But you know, I don't know that the guys who and the women who took that picture, I don't even know that they knew that there were mountain gods, and that the mountain spirits would be mad at their titties. Like, I don't know that they knew that. If they knew it, I would have been a little bit more careful. But probably they had no idea. Well, maybe they were. That's a great point.
Maybe they were trying to do something nice, like an offering. Like, here are my titties.
Right.
You know?
I offer it to the mountain spirits. Okay. Maybe the spirits were didn't like the titties.
Maybe the earthquake was a sign of liking it.
Like
an eruption, you know,
like it was roused. It was roused.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they liked the tits, but when the guy took off his underwear, he's like, whoa, whoa, big guy. I didn't sign up for that.
What do you think, this is an orgy?
Right. Okay, now to get unnecessarily serious at the end of the story, there are real reasons why landslides happen, etc. You should look into those because that can help you prevent them, forecast them so people don't actually die, instead of trying to guess what the mountain gods think.